Další příspěvek bude od Reinholda Auera, který nám poví spíš takové zamyšlení nad směřováním amatérské astronomie ve spolupráci s profesionály. Že, nevím, třeba 4 lety, když byla konference v Praze, tak to a byly publikovány první výsledky z Keplera, tak to vypadalo, že amatérská astronomie úplně skončí, ale jak vidno, tak je to všechno v pořádku, takže tenhle ten soubor.
Dobrý večer. Zase jsem Němec a ty kolegové, kteří mi znají, ví, že moje čeština je docela omezená, tak dovolte, aby moje prezentaci udělám anglickým jazykem. Když if you think about one of the last slides by Stella Kafka, they showed the explosion of information by sky surveillance. If I heard all about these possibilities, what exists and what in future or in near future exists, looking to Gaia, which is not a really project for variable stars, but still as a byproduct will supply information. But other stars like Stella talked about, TESS, Plato, and so on. So there is so huge information and data that I was thinking about that it makes no sense that I as a little amateur are going to observe some bloody light curves or minima, putting into a table, and that it lies. So that was the basic information, that was the basic status of my thinking. And some month ago I read an article written by the chairman of Bundesverband Veränderlicher Sterne, Reinhold Auer, that he exactly about this theme wrote a short article in the Rundbrief. And this initiated me starting thinking deeper for this problem or for this situation, and that is an extract of my thoughts. So somebody should tell me the time. It's not shown here. So the idea is, or my lecture is about cooperation between amateurs and professionals. So amateurs who just doing for their fun is not in this discussion. When I thought about how to present this theme, I came to the idea, starting at the beginning, how the amateur astronomy began, how amateurs are professionals are equipped today, and with equipped I mean the professionals are equipped with sky surveys, huge data. And that leads me to the question, is there a future for amateur astronomers? Of course, it's dangerous to give you a definite answer and say, that is the future, you will kill me if I'm wrong. And therefore, I thought the best way is to looking for examples how amateurs are cooperating with professionals, and maybe this example may lead to the future prospects for amateurs. And of course, at the end, try to make an attempt and a summary. The beginning of the AAVSO was talked 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago. The founder, Tyler Olcott, you saw already on the photograph by Stella Kafka. was an amateur. He founded the VSO, and maybe the start, the initial came from E.C. Pickering, director of Harvard Observatorium. He first officially invited amateurs to join the cooperation with the professionals. That time, of course, only visual photometry was possible. That's just to remind you on that. I think the main idea when Pickering was inviting the amateurs was an economical idea. A large number of amateurs with small telescope are more efficient than a relatively small number of professionals with large telescope. And that's quite easy, this calculation. Come and tell us. As a conclusion of that, organizations were founded to coordinate the work together, creating observation programs in coordination with the professionals, and as a result, the databases were created. VSX, CVS, Lichtenberger Datenbase, our database here in Czech Republic. It is very interesting. Why do you laugh? It is very interesting when I started to read about the different organizations that the Czech amateur organization were founded very close to the American. In comparison to that, the German VAV were founded in 1950, so almost 30 years later. So the Czech people very early joined to astronomy, or the Czech amateurs very early joined to astronomy, and when I studied on our webpage history of our section, so it's for people like me, it's not written very comfortable to understand, but of course I understood Denny Koppel was a very big initiative to this group here. Just to remind to some people who you will know them more better than I apologize, colleague Schmelzer, I lost your picture somewhere. Sorry for that. Anyhow, when I discussed this other organization about their history, which I can present here, the Germans told me that in 1980 there were connections between Czech and German astronomers, and one who was involved in that was Pan Schilhan. Okay, that's just the history. Just some indications for other organizations, AAV as well. We know French organization founded here, Spanish, British. The British were founded earlier, but they have a lot of members, but I guess the British BAA is not a clear amateur organization. I think it was started as a professional organization. I'm not so sure. Just a very brief review to photometry. Visual photometry were taken, let's say, until end of last century. Yeah, okay, thank you. And the analog photometry were very, very complicated and have been done only by professionals. Also, the photoelectric photometry is very complicated and can be done only by professionals, not talking about the cost. And of course, the CCD photometry that makes it possible for us, like amateurs, and was massively spread into the market. To give you an overview, you know about that, but just complete, how are amateurs today equipped? We have had some lectures about Robert's robotic telescope in Cal Monte. Very small telescope under remote control, still working. That is what is amateur's dream, Pavel's, cupola and telescope, and that is a small amateur in South Moravia who is running his telescope under full remote control. Amateur, international. VAV has 2 telescopes under remote control, this one and this one, in Corona, Tessin, Switzerland. The Spanish are the best equipped amateurs. They have 2 half-meter telescopes under full remote control, and and this one is on professional level. There, I just want to show you that is also spanned. There is an astrocamp where you can rent a box, put your telescope there, and observe via internet on remote control. You can have all kinds of service, from 0 service to full service. Stella Kafka talked about the APAS sky survey. That is a project done by amateurs in America. And that shows where the way is going, from my opinion. Just give you very, very short overview what's going on there. Now, going to the professionals. They have so fine telescope and so fine technical things, and of course the best places where you can observe. ASAS, many of you worked already with this data. Supervost, South Africa and Tenerife. Catalina Sky Survey, also Tucson, Arizona, and Australia. And all these sky surveys, the major purpose was different, but there is a lot of byproduct which gives us huge amount of data what we can use for research. One stars, the data soon will be released, and if you believe what the management of this project tells you, so the preciseness and the amount of data will be incredible. 3/4 of the sky will be observed. They are still preparing a second project out of that, which is just ongoing, under construction. These are future plans. Every scope, a very special idea, monitoring the whole sky. There are very, very high targets. I'm not sure whether they will succeed with all their aims, but anyhow, if that is coming, that is explosion of data. By the way, a pilot project is already doing in the Antarctica. So, if a similar graph you have seen by Stella, this is the amount of variable stars known by VSX catalog. And if you see this exponential increase that comes from all these sky surveys, that is can never be done by amateurs. So, if you put everything together, it looks like that classical amateur programs just collecting minimas or maximas will be replaced by Earth or space-based sky surveys, which covers most of the sky, for example, sun stars or Gaia, covers special parts with very ultra-high precision, Kepler, okay, thanks. Delivers very precise photometric data. Question, is there a future? If yes, what is the future? And let's think what can amateurs contribute. You know that, just to remind you, processing multicolor. Oh, sorry, it was modeling application. So examples, observing on demand, I told it, or you gave me the hint. Observation on demand earlier. Remember some years ago when you started to ask for help? Some colleagues, sorry, I pushed the wrong button. Now the computer has. Okay, let's continue. Just a few words. A colleague of us in Germany found a very strange reliever with some strange behavior. We started to observe together. The problem has been that the period of this reliever is almost precise half a day. So we could see only the same, all time, the same part of the light curve. And it moves 4 minutes per day. So we were asking for some, looking for people who can help us, and found 2 Americans who joined our group, and now we are 4 amateurs observing this light curve. This is background astronomy spread all over the world. Specialty is cataclysmic variable stars. Another field of possible cooperation is data mining and processing. One example is Sermon. Marek will talk about this. This is the colleague in Germany who, about whom I spoke. His strategy is data mining with supervast Gales data and QTR data, looking for earlier with special behavior, and starting to observe, making own publications, or looking for co-partner or partners in professional area. As a result of that, he found one SV sextant star It's a long story, but just ended in a publication in Astronomy and Astrophysics. This is an example for a cooperation also between amateur and professional. They are doing observation, processing, modeling, and publication of ecliptic binaries. And this is the best example of our colleague Pavel Zakas, who found multiple ecliptic binaries and could do publication on its own. These are further examples later in this conference, which may give some hints like amateurs and professional may cooperate. So, attempt at a summary. In future, I think becoming less important, the traditional task of monitoring program stars, hunting for minima or maxima, classical hunting for transist or exoplanet, or hunting supernova, etc. Away from some modern priorities by professionals, there are still plenty of professional tasks for committed amateurs with a scientific approach that will maybe more concentrate on specialities, observing on demand. Hey, I have a project. Are you interested? Come and help me, like Stella did. One goal is what I would say it's the dream of amateurs, which scientific attempt observing, processing, modeling, and publishing. International collaboration between amateurs to enlarge the possibilities and improve the efficiency. Maybe data mining in historical data may be also interesting field for people who are interested in that. Okay. I think one sentence, amateurs should think about to increase their efficiency. That's my thinking. So I'm looking for a better place for my telescope that I would be able to systematically observe projects, not just waiting for a window in the air or within the clouds. That is my wish to organizations like we are, and thank you.
Díky Reinholdovi za zajímavé zamyšlení. Jsem si tady jistý, jestli máme čas na nějaký dotaz, možná jeden nějaký rychlý. Žádný.
Všechny odradí. Ja by som sa dovolil predstaviť sa pri termíne amatér. Do you understand me, please?
I understand you.
Okay. Amo, amas, amare, amasti je latinské slovo, znamená milovať. Ešte Jozef Klepeška svojho času za prvej republiky napísal knihu 20 let medzi milovníky astronomie. Lenže význam slov sa posunul. A dneska v češtine a v slovenčine určite amatér znamená v podstate babrák. Preto sme my sa rozhodli...
Nerozumím papra.
Babrák. Nie. Človek, ktorý nerobí veci presne a precízne. Amatér. Tak, vy ste len amatéri. Preto sme sa rozhodli, my sa už nevoláme Slovenský zväz astronómov amatérov, ale voláme sa Slovenský zväz astronómov. Lebo, viete, význam slov sa posúva. Skutočne význam v slovenčine sa slovo amatér posunulo do akejsi pejoratívnej roviny. Čiže Rusi majú ľubiteľ, Poliaci majú milošník. Milošník v polštine. in Polish language, there is a miłośnik. In Russian language, there is a ljubitel. No amateur.
Myslím, že tohle je na hodně dlouhou diskuzi.
No, ale
just if I understood you right, I'm not sure. Yes, but if I repeat what I understood. So if you're told that the amateur is not skilled enough, or it's on a low level, I won't agree with that. There are amateurs with low level and there are amateurs with very, very high level. So the difference between amateur and professional is that amateur does it for fun and does not live from the work, from astronomy, but professionals live from their work. So that is for me the difference. And the level of skills, it's very individual. Okay?
Já bych to teďka už ukončil, že Polaroid jsme asi 15 minut ve skluzu. A teď by, hlavně díky teda přednášce z Telikavky, teďka by měla následovat přednáška nebo představení nových udělátek v SIPSu, nových funkcí a podobných věcí, ale zazněl tady návrh, že by se mohla udělat nějaká krátká 5minutová přestávka, dejme tomu. Ale vzhledem k tomu, že už jsme jako 15 minut, vydržíte 50 minut ještě zhruba, nebo 40 minut poslouchat Pavla?
Vydržíme.
Dobře, takže bez přestávky a Pavel.
Do 2 hodin do rána vydržíme.